League. The 7th annual MISL All-Star Game is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Dodge, a performance revolution, an American revelation. By your neighborhood True Value hardware stores. And by Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met. It pays. Hello, everyone. I'm John Paul Dellacamera. Alongside me, Shep Messing. We're here to bring you the 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic from Chicago Stadium. The two clubs, East and West, have met 6 times previous, and Shep, the West has won 5 out of those 6. What can we look forward to tonight?
Well, JP, I think we're going to get a look at a sport and a league that's on the verge of national prominence, and the players feel it. I think for the fan tuning in tonight, they're not only going to see individual brilliance, but they're going to see more of an intense game than you usually see in an all-star match. Some great stars on both teams. We'll be back to take a look at who those players are when we return after this. Now let's meet the players and coaches who have been chosen by their peers to represent their respective divisions. First, in the West. Number 7, Steve Jungle, recently acquired by the Tacoma Stars. Steve is playing in his 6th All-Star game. He received 86 votes, the most for any player in either division. At the time of balloting, Steve led the league in both scoring and assists. Steve is the league leader in many offensive categories. Number 20, Branko Segota, plays with the San Diego Sockers and is one of indoor soccer's best scorers. He's currently 2nd in the Major Indoor Soccer League. He received 85 votes in the balloting, 2nd highest in both divisions. Branko Segota, number 20. Number 6, Chico Borja, represents Wichita in his 1st All-Star game. Chico was a member of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team and has led the Major Indoor Soccer League in scoring much of this season. Despite injuries, he finished last season with an impressive 54 points. Number 11, Kim Rundvedt, another representative from the Wings, is playing in his 5th All-Star Classic. He currently is the highest scorer among all MISL defenders and ranks high in the list of all Major Indoor Soccer League scorers. Kim Rundvedt, number 11. Number 2, Gino Schiraldi. The defender from the Kansas City Comets is appearing for the first time in this All-Star game. He is having his best year ever with an impressive 20 points on 12 goals and 8 assists at balloting time. Gino can also claim the most games ever played by a Comet, 173. Number 30, Slobo Ilievsky, St. Louis personable goalkeeper, is playing in his 5th consecutive All-Star game. Slobo holds the league record in goals against average and has title to every existing team record for goalkeeping among the Steamers. Number 30, Slobo Ilievsky. And now here's my partner, Shep Messing, with the remainder of the Western Division All-Star lineup.
Gene Wilrich, San Diego's midfielder, was 3rd in soccer scoring last year. Alan Mayer from Kansas City, currently number 2 among MISL goalkeepers. Batata, called a little potato, the LA forward, is playing in his 3rd All-Star Classic. Gus McCallis, a defender from LA, was last year's Laser MVP. Brian Quinn helped the Sockers to a league championship last year. Eric Rasmussen, at ballot time, he scored 51 points to lead the Wichita Wings. Kevin Crow from San Diego, Defender of the Year for his amazing 113 blocks. Fernando Clavillo from San Diego, 2nd in the MISL with 2 shorthanded goals. Preki from Tacoma, an amazing 21 goals and 15 assists. Tony Bellinger, the Steamers defender, is the only player to appear in all 7 All-Star games.
And the coaches for the West, Ron Newman. Soccer's championship coach, has the best winning percentage in the MISL. He led the Sockers to 2 Major Indoor Soccer League and 2 North American Soccer League titles. Ron has been named Coach of the Year no less than 4 times. Ron Newman, he guides the West. And his assistant coach, Roy Turner, Wichita's popular leader, was last year's winning All-Star head coach.
Roy is the only coach in the history of the Wichita Wings, a team that he has taken to the playoffs in each year of their existence. Roy Turner of Wichita, the assistant coach of the West. And now, the competition. The stars representing the Major Indoor Soccer League's Eastern Division. Number 9 is Tatu. The Dallas forward received 81 votes in the balloting, the highest total in the Eastern Division. This is his second All-Star game in his second year in the league. Tatu finished last season with 59 goals and 29 assists, and he was the MVP for the Sidekicks. Number 10, Stamenkovic, has been named most valuable player in his last 3 appearances in the All-Star Classic. In 4 All-Star games, he has scored 8 goals and added 7 assists. There is little question why he is called the Magician, and little question why he was Baltimore's MVP of a season ago. Number 4, Gerry Gray. Chicago's midfielder is playing in his second All-Star Classic. He received 44 votes. His season last year was cut short by injury, but in 24 games he managed an amazing 18 goals and 40 assists. Number 4, Chicago's Gerry Gray. Number 5, Mike Stankovic. This Baltimore Blast defender has been chosen for his 4th All-Star game. Last year, Mike scored the highest point total for a defender, 59 points. He is considered by many to be the best two-way player in the Major Indoor Soccer League. Mike Stankovic, number 5. Number 22, his teammate, Bruce Savage of the Baltimore Blast, is playing in his second All-Star game. Bruce has a unique streak going. He has not received a penalty in 70 consecutive games. He leads the team in blocks and was a member of the 1984 USA Olympic team. Number 22, Bruce Savage. Number 31, David Bursic. Pittsburgh Spirit goalkeeper had a goals against average of 3.82 in his first 20 games this year. David tied the MISL shutout record with 2 this year and has been named Defensive Player of the Week an unprecedented 4 times. David Bursic, number 31. And now here's my partner Shep Messing with the rest of the Eastern Division All-Star team.
Neill Roberts. Neill is the first defender ever to win Offensive Player of the Week honors. Karl-Heinz Granitza. He is a Sting's all-time leading scorer. Tino Lettieri. He was leading the MISL with 327 saves. Dwight Lodeweges. Last year he led his fellow defensemen with 34 points. Kazemaini, Cleveland's midfielder, last year's Rookie of the Year. Peter Ward, last season it went like this: 24 games, 18 goals, 19 assists. Godfrey Ingram, through 23 games, he scored 24 points. Victor Moreland, the Dallas defender, leading the Sidekicks in block shots. Richard Chinapoo, 12 points in 13 playoff games last year. Tim Wittman, another All-Star supplied by Baltimore in his first All-Star game.
And now the coaches for the Eastern Conference All-Stars. Head coach Kenny Cooper led the East to victory, their only time in the 1984 Classic. He was named Coach of the Year for the 83-84 MISL season. Kenny has taken the Baltimore Blast to the Eastern Division title every year for the last 3 years. The coach of the East, Ken Cooper. His assistant, Willie Roy. Willie has won 2 divisional indoor titles at Chicago, and last season he brought 20 home victories to the people in the Windy City. The Chicago Sting, Willie Roy. And we'll be back to kick off the 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic in just a moment. Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic. Our senior referee today, Bill Maxwell, Kelly Mock, and Marty Templin will be the alternate officials, with Kelly Mock working inside the penalty box. Starting out, David Bursic in goal for the East. He'll be joined defensively by Mike Stankovic and Bruce Savage of Baltimore. Tatu is up front as this game gets underway with Peter Ward and Gerry Gray. The ball played back to Slobo Ilievsky of the West. Going long, but it's headed the other way by Stankovic for Tatu. Now Segota for his former teammate Steve Jungle. Jungle now with the Tacoma Stars. You'll see him on a future ESPN telecast against Kansas City. Right side, Borja. Segota by the box, but good marking there by Gerry Gray, and Bursic makes the easy play for Mike Stankovic of the Baltimore Blast. Stankovic coming back the other way. Peter Ward in his first All-Star game. A lot of newcomers in the All-Stars this season, Shep.
Well, certainly for the Eastern team. They have 13 players played in their first All-Star game. That's an indication of a big turnover in the East. And certainly they're the underdog going into this game. For no other reason, if you have to pick out one, the loss of Stamenkovic with a knee injury, pulling out of the game last Sunday. An unfortunate factor for the Eastern squad.
Peter Ward from Gerry Gray. You mentioned Stankovic out with a knee injury, so at least we know for a fact he will not be the MVP this year. He's won it 3 straight years. Tatu tried to find an open man, Peter Ward, but it's broken up by the West. They'll be in the predominantly black uniforms tonight, and the East will be in the gold. Gene Woolridge from his former teammate, or from his present teammate, Clavio, broken up by Gerry Gray. You'll hear a lot more applause when a guy like Granitza has the ball now. He plays for the Chicago Sting. Karl-Heinz a shot too high off the glass. Godfrey Ingram in his first All-Star game after it, but it's Eric Rasmussen who'll pick it up. Eric plays for the Wichita Wings. Now it's Kevin Crow of San Diego for Batata of the Los Angeles Lasers. Players did the voting, and they did a nice job. The best of the East against the best of the West. It's scoreless, 13:06 to go, first quarter from Chicago Stadium. Granitza, one of 4 Chicago Sting players. Incidentally, Drago Dumovic replaced Stan Stamenkovic. Dumovic has been very hot of late for the Sting. Victor Moreland, a former Sting, broken up. Eric Rasmussen going long for Clavio. Fernando Clavio looking off the boards, open man, but Tatu missed it. Great opportunity, Shep, for the West.
Super play by Fernando Clavio, streaking down the left wing, pushed that ball off the boards. They just couldn't convert. And then, JP, it's tough to talk about an underdog in a game like this, but certainly the East with Kenny Cooper at the reins, he's out here to win. These players, unlike some other All-Star games in other sports, these guys feel it. They feel that the league is coming on. These guys are out for blood. It's a war in the All-Star game.
And here is Batata from Brian Quinn. Right back for Quinn. The shot blocked by Kazemaini should force a corner kick. We're coming back to Chicago to bring you more coverage of the 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League. They won their first 4 despite the East having players like Shep Messing and Steve Jungle. Jungle will put it in play. Quinn fans on it, and then it's cleared out by Kazemaini. Sam Bick will pick it up for the West. For Jungle. Knocked away. Good defensive play that time by Dallas Sidekicks defender Victor Moreland. Dwight Lodeweges of Minnesota. Up for Granitza, trying to flick it on for Dumovic, but it doesn't work. Here's Neill Roberts of the Sting. Dumovic is wide open if he can get it to him. Right in front, a save by Slovo, but it hit off Sammy Beck, not Drago Dumovic.
Great opportunity. The West got caught on a line change. Neill Roberts took that ball, unselfishly tried to put it to the back post, and the West comes up big on the save.
Brian Quinn of the San Diego Sockers wanted that one to go to Preki. Preki's an interesting story, just 22 years old in his first year indoors, showing signs that he's going to be a star in this league for years to come. Borja on the intercept. Dumovic blocks him, so does Timmy Wittman, but it's kept alive. Schiraldi to Borja, off the glass, wide, picked up by Dumovic. For Richard Chinapoo, also playing in his first All-Star game for David Bursic. Bursic, the MISL Defensive Player of the Week, and unprecedented 4 times this year. He plays for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Peter Ward over midfield, chased by Borja. Tatu looking to make the play, leaves it. Ward the shot, nice right-footed save by Slovo. Neill Roberts looking for it. It's still a scoreless tie from Chicago. Borja on the run. He's got Preki on the right. Ball knocked away by Roberts. And the East trying to bring it back. On a quick line change, big Mike Stankovic. Tatu breaks the other way. Stankovic for Tatu, trying to backheel. Couldn't get enough on it. Slovo looks long.
And once again, the East catches the West on a line change. This time, Chinapoo making a run on the left. Stankovic electing to pass, and the East is putting all kinds of pressure on. The West playing with a lot of confidence, and here they are on the breakaway.
Bursic will knock it away up the middle of the field, and the East will take over once more in a scoreless tie. Tatu leads the league in goals scored. He's crunched and a foul called. Jungle and Clavio made a sandwich out of Tatu.
Well, Clavio in with a hard tackle. You can't allow a player like Tatu to break unmolested down the middle, and that was a good foul for Clavio to take.
Clavio, the MISL's Defensive Player of the Week this past week. Dumovic, the Offensive Player. In the box for Tatu. Turns, fires, blocked on a nice play. Kevin Crow, who had the most blocks in the MISL last year. The West bringing it back. Gene Woolridge on the go. Good recovery by Bruce Savage of Baltimore. Kicked out.
kept alive, and a quick Segota shot is blocked. Crow will settle for Bronco Segota. Cuts right, broken up. Savage again for Tatu. If Tatu scores a goal, he throws that jersey in the crowd. Doug Burr, who's the president of the Stinks, say they have 3 jerseys for Tatu. If he gets more than that, tough luck. Steve Jungle the other way, the captain of the West. Karl-Heinz Granitza captains the East. Segota, good run. Gives it up for Wilrich. Gene Wilrich plays it to the outside. There's nobody home.
JP, you talked about earlier keeping players together who have played together before. This particular line for the West, Bronco Segota playing with Steve Jungle, playing with Gene Wilrich. It's so difficult for players, no matter what their skill level, to come in one day and have that instant communication. These guys are going to make an effort, but it does help when teammates can play together.
Tatu tries to lead Ingram, but it's broken up. Remember, both of these teams started to arrive in yesterday, some Sunday night, but fog closed Chicago's airport, so one practice really for each team, and a lot of players could not be there. Segota to Brian Quinn. His San Diego teammate, a shot. Bursic makes a good save to his left. Rolls it right side for Dwight Lodeweges. Still scoreless first quarter from Chicago Stadium. We hope you're enjoying the 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic.
JP, getting back to the tactics of the game, it's a one-shot deal. In a one-shot game, both teams are looking for hot goalkeeping. They're looking to play the ball quickly out from the back, get through the midfield, and create some opportunities. You can't afford defensive mistakes.
Godfrey Ingram for Lodeweges. Opposite side, Kazemaini, last year's Rookie of the Year, already has more points than he had a year ago, by far. Granitza is broken up, and the West will bring it back. There's going to be a good run up on the left wing side by Segota. He'll get that pass, the shot, and the score from Brian Quinn, and you can see it coming on the good run by Segota.
And that's textbook soccer. Brian Quinn coming down the middle on a 3-on-2. He had Jungle on his right. He had Bronco Segota on his left. Here's Quinn with a pass to Segota. Watch Segota's shot. Velocity, 110 miles an hour. That ball just overpowers David Bursic. Bursic taking good position on the shot, strictly being overpowered. Here's Quinn looking for his options. Dishes it off to Segota. Watch the velocity on it. David Bursic actually falling back on his heels. Just too much pace on that shot.
We've got an official's timeout on the field. The West leads 1-0. We'll be back with more coverage of the 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic in just a moment. That goal at 7:04 from Brian Quinn to give the West a 1-0 lead. Shep, prior to that, the East had scored the first goal in 4 of 6 prior matches. It didn't help them, though, that quick start.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you take the goals, total goal average in all the All-Star games, they average somewhat just under 14 goals a game. So there are going to be some more goals in this game, JP.
I'm sure you're right about that. Ali Kazemaini looks to tie it. Saves. Slowboat comes out. Ingram can't find the handle of it. Kazemaini will get it back. Lodeweges to Godfrey Ingram. Broken up. Sent back in by Moreland. Kim Rundfed looking. Kazemaini, nice dig. Fakes off the boards. He wanted Granitza, but the ball was slowed down by Rundfed. Slobo distributes up the right side. Blocked by the aggressive Victor Moreland. And now a foul called as he upended Batata.
And look at Victor Moreland. That's great stuff. You don't see that in every All-Star game. Victor Moreland is taking no prisoners. He was not allowing that player, Batata, to go by him along the boards. These guys are out here for real. I don't know why there's so many goals scored. They're All-Star defenders out there as well. I think it's a little bit easier to go forward than it is to play defense in this All-Star game.
Batata chased by Kazemaini. Now for Eric Rasmussen. 6 hat tricks this year for Rasmussen, who plays for the Wichita Wings. Batata pressured by Victor Moreland. Moreland's done a great job with the sidekicks this year. One of the many reasons why Dallas has been the most improved team in the MISL. Chico Borja played for Las Vegas last year, Wichita this year. There's a nice back heel. Rasmussen beating Kazemaini. The shot far post is wide. Good opportunity that time for the West. Kim Rundfed back after it. The West is leading, if you're just joining us, 1-0 here at Chicago Stadium. Good crowd on hand. Borja for Rasmussen. Blocked, then Moreland gives it back for David Bursic. For Ingram, now to Lodeweges. That goal by Segota, the only goal of the game thus far, gives Bronco 3 goals and 6 assists. He is 3rd in all-time All-Star scoring. Tim Wittman, now for Neill Roberts of the Chicago Sting. Going for Tatu. Some holding going on, and they say that Clavillo is guilty.
And the job for Kenny Cooper and Willie Roy, coaches of the Eastern All-Stars, is to find a system for Tatu and Karl-Heinz Granitza to fit into. Karl-Heinz Granitza really will be playing in this game at a low post position with his back to the goal. It's hard to integrate the different styles, but they're going to make an effort to do just that.
Drago shooting wide, looks for the rebound that doesn't come his way. Preki for Wilrich. Back for the youngster. Cuts to the inside, then lost it. Still loose in the box, and Bursic is there. Preki just 22 years old. Chinapoo now for Tatu, who leads the MISL in goals. He has 41. He had 59 last year. Chinapoo blasts that one. That goes up into the crowd.
These guys are hitting cannons. Chinapoo at the top of the point. He's just going to unload.
It's still 1-0. The West is leading here at Chicago Stadium. We'll be right back. It's very young at some indoor soccer game, Shep.
The young lady enjoying the game. I'll take this opportunity to say hello to my young daughter. It's her birthday today, Manda. Happy birthday. If you're watching the game, you should be asleep already.
The West has it. They have the lead.
Yeah, that's it for us.
Lodeweges, who has the lowest goals against average ever in this league at 3.67. He did that in 1983-84. That's hard to imagine, a goals against average so low. Good hustle by Tatu, but Wilrich will win it. Shots on goal so far, the West out shooting the East 5-4, but it's been run and gun. Collision in the corner. Chinapoo comes away against Jungle. Right back for David Bursic. Now Neill Roberts has the whole right side of the field to work with. West in a slow line change. Stankovic, the shot is wide. Rebound to Roberts, blocked. Chinapoo, a little bit of room. Back for Roberts. Off the glass. Settled by Bellinger. Chinapoo will get it back. Quinn putting some pressure on. Now it is Tatu once more. Bellinger picking him up. Give and go. No. Foul offensive on Tatu. Incidentally, Tony Bellinger, the only player to play in all 7 All-Star games.
Well, Tony, certainly a justified reward for one of the best pure defenders in the league.
Look at that tackle by Roberts. Segota to Brian Quinn. His shot is blocked by Peter Ward. Quickly they move it around. Segota from Bick. The other way, broken up. Gerry Gray settles for Bruce Savage. Now for Peter Ward. Peter Ward of the Cleveland Force. For Gerry Gray. Thought there was a handball that time on Rudbed, but they let play go. Picked up by Tatu. Another collision. Bick wins the ball, but Ward gets it back. Tatu trying to work it around Sammy Bick. Still working hard, but it's played right back for Lievsky. The West still leading 1-0. Slobo goes for the home run. Segota off the boards. He wants Rasmussen. Savage knocks it away. And now it's right back for David Bursic.
I'll tell you, JP, these teams are going right through the midfield like it didn't exist. They're winning the ball in the back. In under 2 seconds, they're getting down into the attacking zone and unloading the ball.
3:08 to go. First quarter. The West leads 1-0. They're putting on a show. Stankovic, great save for Slobo. What a rocket by Mike Stankovic.
Mike Stankovic, probably the best attacking defender in the league. Uncorked it with the left foot, and Slobo came up big.
And you see some of the stars you're seeing here in our next televised game on ESPN, the Tacoma Stars, featuring Steve Jungle and Preki against the Kansas City Comets with Gino Schiraldi and Alan Mayer. Sunday, March 2nd. Join Shep and I, 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's going to be a good game. The impact of Steve Jungle, as we watch here, Mike Stankovic crack this one. Watch Slobo go up with the right hand, arch back, and hit the turf, but make the save.
Stankovic making another crack. Blocked by Eric Rasmussen. The race is on. Rasmussen wanted to pass it to Quinn on the right. Slowed down. 1-0 West leading. Rasmussen, good move, and he shoots wide. Batata, nice save that time for David Bursic. So he equals his counterpart, Slobo Lievsky, in the opposite end.
Both ends. This time David Bursic blocked by Dwight Lodeweges. Here comes the ball. Eric Rasmussen cracks one just wide of the post. David Bursic comes up, takes position just in time to parry that ball over the glass for a corner kick.
Saves Shep, or even at 3 apiece. 3 for Bursic, 3 for Lievsky. Batata on the set piece. Chico Borja. Chico has played on our U.S. national team. Made a nice contribution. Now for Gino Schiraldi. Schiraldi of the Kansas City Comets, already this year better stats than he's ever had before. His first All-Star game.
Kevin Crow. Back for Rasmussen. A 1-0 West lead. It's been wide open. It's been exciting, and I think the people here are having a great time so far. At least the fans are. Indoor soccer at its best. Ward almost gets it by. Look at the way, though, Borja shields him away from that. He made the one mistake, but then he recovered.
And that's textbook soccer, watching Chico Borja shield that ball, put his body between the ball and the player. That's for the first time in the game we see the West actually taking possession, trying to slow down the pace.
How about that? High pressure there for the East. Clavillo. Now for Borja over midfield. Let's Clavillo pass him to the left. Feeds on the right for Crow. Still a 1-0 West lead if you're just joining us. 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic here in Chicago. Next year it goes to the fabulous Forum in Inglewood. Dr. Gerry Buss successful in winning his bid to host that All-Star Classic. Congratulations to him. Tacoma gets it in 2 years. Eric Rasmussen wanting to turn, but a nice defensive job by Peter Ward. Still a 1-0 West lead. 1:21 to go in the first quarter. Peter Ward by Batata. Stripped of the ball. Kazemaini wins it, but there's the Lord of all indoors. Steve Jungle, now the Tacoma Stars on the fly. Right-footed shot, but it's right at David Burson.
And then we saw a glimpse of the greatness of Steve Jungle. He won that ball in the midfield. He accelerated in the first 10 feet right by Ali Kazemaini. Eventually got the shot on goal, but the quickness on the ball.
Karl-Heinz Granitza of the Chicago Sting, the captain of the East for Lodeweges. Kazemaini. Free for a second, not much more. Outside, looks for someone else. Ali Kazemaini, second year from Cleveland State. Out for Lodeweges, wanted Godfrey. Ingram, blocked by Pranky. Some good instincts there by the Yugoslavian rookie. And here he comes. Pranky tried to tone for Jungle. Nice idea, but the East may have a chance. Granitza will have Moreland going to his right. Nice ball for Ingram. Back for Moreland. Shot into the crowd, but not too much Victor could do with that. Great idea on the combination that time. Granitza to Ingram to Victor Moreland.
Well, that's a play that you diagram on paper. Victor Moreland making the pass. Watch him make his overlapping run. Granitza with a pass. Moreland running to the far post. This ball bouncing. Moreland cannot get on top of the ball. As a result, shoots it into the crowd. But a good opportunity for the East.
10 goals, 9 assists, 19 points, but that stat doesn't show you the leadership that Victor Moreland has given to the Dallas Sidekicks.
You talk about Victor Moreland, you talk about a guy who got married at halftime of a soccer game. Does this guy think soccer? That's all he thinks. Great player.
And they thought you were flaky when you played. Woolrich wanting to get his own ball back, but it's broken up. And Tatu is there for the East. East looking for their first goal. And they have a 3-on-2 as Tatu hustles up, but Woolrich will make it 3-on-3 with a nice run back. Godfrey Ingram spinning to the middle. Broken up. West coming back. 1 second left. Rundgren knows it, cranks it, but that's it. A great first quarter of play. Not a lot of scoring, but the action was most definitely end-to-end. The West leads the East 1-0. We'll be right back.
Pick up the middle. He's going to look right and pass left. They call Bronco Segota the laser. And this is why. He hits that ball. It could be clocked anywhere between 100 and 110 miles an hour. And that ball, in terms of velocity, just overpowers David Bursic. No chance at all as the laser cracks the ball for the first goal of the game.
There's a list of the leading scorers in All-Star history. It's too bad we couldn't see Stan Stamenkovic tonight because he is bothered by a leg injury, but Steve Jungle has 10 points, and Segota now has 9. Tony Glavin, the assistant coach of the Steamers, with 7. Kai Ascovy and Paul Kitson with 7 each. Here's a look at our first quarter of the West, outshooting the East 8-7. 3 saves for Slobo, 4 for David Bursic. The blocks are 4-3 West. The total fouls 2 apiece. There were no penalties. And interesting to note, Shep, that 1-0 score ties for the lowest scoring first quarter in All-Star history. Central over the Atlantic, 1-0 in 1980 at St. Louis. As we look at Kenny Cooper and some players that you played against when you played in these All-Star games.
Well, I think I was responsible for that, the Eastern Division having that losing record for so many years. But we get a good look at Kenny Cooper. Kenny Cooper is going to take that jacket off in the second half, roll up his sleeves, and go to work. This man wants to win the game. He's got 4 Baltimore players there, talking to his players on the bench about what to do in order to get that ball up quicker, out of the defensive third, and into scoring position.
I'm surprised the jacket's still on. Ball is played back to David Bursic. Our second quarter is underway. West leading the East 1-0. Nice turn for Tatu, but nobody is there as he passed it right up the middle. Ryan Quinn for Bronco Segota. He has the only goal of the game thus far. Back for his San Diego Sockers teammate, Kevin Crow, now to Clavillo. And actually, Shep, 4 Sockers on the field, plus Jungle and ex-Soccer. So Ron Newman and his assistant Roy Turner going with familiarity. Brian Quinn going the other way. Segota knocked away by Roberts. Crow almost had a chance. Quinn for Clavillo from Segota. Back heels for Kevin Crow. Off the boards, nobody there. Chinapoo for the East for Godfrey Ingram. Turns it into some open space for Tatu. Closely marked by Brian Quinn of the West. West still leading 1-0 as Tim Wittman gets it from Neill Roberts. Roberts, a defender, the only player in MISL history to win the Offensive Player of the Week as a defender. A Wittman shot now blocked by Clavillo, and it lands in the seats. Free kick coming up when play resumes, and the East will get the ball. The West making changes. Sam Bick and Tony Bellinger on his way to get Ron Newman, Western Division All-Star head coach. All he's done is win 4 straight indoor soccer championships. Whether it's outdoor soccer or indoor soccer, he wins.
Oh, when I talk about the intensity of Kenny Cooper, take nothing away from Ron Newman. He's exhorting his troops on the sideline. He wants this game badly.
Tatu with Bellinger on him. Wanted it to go to Ingram. Jungle pokes it ahead. Segota for Quinn. Nice ball. Brian Quinn back the other way. One of the underrated stars of the MISL. His back heel, though, is picked up by Tatu. Now Neill Roberts. Back up the boards for David Bursic. Segota was right there. Chinapoo the other way. Eastern Division All-Stars looking for their first goal as Wittman goes down. And Sam Bick, the Steamers captain, will pick it up. Right back to Ilievsky. You know, between Bick and Bellinger, they've been the 2 defensive or 2 all-around MVPs of the Steamers. Steamers have always been a good defensive club, and it shows you when defenders win your most valuable player award 2 years in a row. Chico Borja the other way. West coming back. They lead 1-0. The lead is for Segota. He has the only goal thus far. Savage blocking him. Borja turning twice. Stankovic and he shoulder to shoulder. A little too much oomph on the part of Stankovic, and that's a foul.
I like Mike Stankovic. Some people say the best all-around defender in the league. This is an Iron Man, a hard, tough, strong, skillful soccer player.
Quick shot is blocked by Tatu off Bellinger, and again it lands in the first row of seats. The score from Chicago. The West on top. 1-0. We're coming right back with more coverage. A 1-0 lead for the West. Granitza gives it off now for Stankovic for Gerry Gray of the Chicago Sting. Going long ball for Granitza. Slobo can't use his hands when he's out of the box, and he heads it up into the crowd. A lot of great players out in the field tonight. Keep in mind, several of these players will be representing Canada in the upcoming World Cup, including Gerry Gray and Tino Lettieri, among others. Played out now for Gerry Gray. Bruce Savage. Karl-Heinz Granitza is broken up. Savage leaves it for his Baltimore teammate Stankovic. For Dumovic. Drago looking. Leaves it off. Stankovic fakes. Nice move. Left-footed shot is blocked. Loose ball. Dumovic couldn't settle it down, Shep, and knock it in.
A good opportunity. Stankovic winding up from the top. Dumovic taking the position down low. Here's the fake. Now Mike Stankovic in shooting position. He cracks it with the left. Wants that ball deflected by a defender, and here's the kick save by Slobo. Flat on his back. He has the composure to kick that ball clear.
Corner kick coming up for the Eastern Division All-Stars. They trail 1-0. Quickly, Granitza, the shot is deflected wide. Now it is Borja for the West. Going long, that's 3 lines, and that's the only time you can have an offside in the MISL if that ball goes over all 3 lines in the air without touching the boards or another player or an official. Quickly on the restart, the East takes over. Dumovic for Granitza. Now it is Stankovic to Gerry Gray. 1-0 West on a Segota goal. Dumovic against Kevin Crow. Inside again. The shot is blocked by Ilievsky as Drago went outside, then back inside.
And again, the East not being able to get that penetration down low along the boards. Instead, they're opting to shoot from the top, which is okay, but in that case, Slobo holding on to the ball.
Bruce Savage will give it back for David Bursic. 11:20 to go in this, the second quarter. East still looking for their first goal. They trail 1-0.
Peter Ward for Stankovic. Right back for Savage. He's going to have to settle it quickly with Patata right there. Now Peter Ward chesting it down. West now starting to put on some high pressure. Jungle after it against Peter Ward. And right back to David Bursic. They're going to start from the back and work up. Lodeweges double team. Nice move to get away. East in trouble and they break out. On a good feed from Gray to Stankovic. Wants it on the right foot. Toes it from Peter Ward. Shot is blocked wide. Clavillo got a piece. Now Granitza and Wilrich battle along the boards. That was a handball that time on Wilrich.
And that's the great thing about breaking the press. The West went into high pressure. If you can beat that press, you're going to end up with a 3-on-2, and the East had a good opportunity.
Lodeweges slides it. Ward with a chance. Off the boards, it's blocked. Ward again wanted to slip it through it. Granitza was open.
Well, Peter Ward might have done better to unload on that shot. He had position. He got in deep. He tried to finesse it off the boards. When you're in doubt, shoot that ball. Get it in there and put it on net.
Karl-Heinz Granitza for Peter Ward. Now for Dwight Lodeweges. Ali Kazemaini and Victor Moreland now on for the East. Ball played across. Clavillo broke it up. Moreland knocking that one away. Look at this. Hey, bodies are flying. Who said that all-star games are not physical? Wilrich will break this one up. He's got Jungle left. Preki running hard to the right. Preki and Kazemaini battle, and Moreland comes back to help and wins it for Bursic. Intercepted. Good quickness there. Bellinger to Preki. Tackle Victor Moreland. They're going to call a foul.
I love it. That's great stuff. They call him the Sundance Kid, Victor Moreland. Here's that sliding tackle. He got a piece of the ball. He got more of Preki, but I love it.
East, Shep out shooting the West 6-1, but nothing to show for it. Jungle for Preki, but the shot is blocked by Lodeweges. Looked like the West might have had something there.
And we're going to hear a lot more about that combination, Jungle to Preki, for the Tacoma Stars. What an acquisition that is for Tacoma.
Brian Quinn. We've seen Preki pick up a lot of points already with Tacoma, and Jungle has played there. Steve wanting to turn, and what a nice tackle by Kazemaini. That might have saved a goal, Shep.
Very difficult to get that ball down into the box at the low post. That time Kazemaini made the tackle on Jungle.
Brian Quinn marked by Ingram. Here's a good run for Rundved. Rundved in the box. Look at that diving header attempt by Jungle, but it just missed. Ali Kazemaini for the East, who still trail 1-0. 9:02 to go. Second quarter. Lodeweges for Kazemaini, who plays for the Cleveland Force. Try to play it back. Good thing Segota didn't pick that one off. Bursic now clearing it. Ingram will chest it. Kazemaini with Quinn all over him, and Brian Quinn will win the ball. A lot of these star players will be in action later on this week. We'll talk to you later on about some upcoming major indoor soccer league games as the races are ever so close at the All-Star break. Baltimore currently leads the East and San Diego in the West, but it's close down the line. Kim Rundved going right side to Quinn. Sammy Beck. Blocked by Neill Roberts. Roberts plays Shep for the Chicago Sting, who've won 5 in a row. Bad time for the All-Star break for the Sting, because they've been hot. There's a 3-line pass.
Well, the Sting are a great franchise, and we look at the crowd right here for the All-Star Classic. What a great city. They booed Karl-Heinz Granitza when he came out. They booed Coach Willie Roy, but this team has won 5 games in a row. And this crowd in Chicago is going to be out supporting them if they continue to win. Dumbovic, by the way, got a great ovation from the crowd.
Turner on Rasmussen, and he just missed. Not by much. That could have been a 2-0 West lead. The East wanting to bring it back and tie this one. Low-scoring game, but this game is certainly not lacking in its excitement. They've had a lot of chances. Some shots have gone wide. Some big saves have been made, especially in the first quarter, by each keeper.
Well, actually, the game is breaking down a little bit right now, JP. The passing, the execution of the passing is not there. The players are trying to do it by themselves. The best way to do it is make that ball do the work. Start passing that ball around.
Segota to Kevin Crow. Now for Rasmussen. Turning on his man. Blocked. Picked up by Quinn as Rasmussen hits the deck. Chinapoo blocking it. Look at that. Richard Chinapoo. Some nice dribbling skills up the wing. Open man Tatu. Right back. Chinapoo in deep. Looks for some help. Plays it outside now for Neill Roberts. Now it's Timmy Wittman. Gave it up. Rasmussen 3-on-3. Now 4-on-3 as Borja joins quickly. Chico Borja cutting to the middle. Passes behind Kevin Crow. Crow blocked now by Chinapoo. Rasmussen will get it. A 1-0 West lead. Eric with a shot, doesn't have enough on it, and Bursic comes up with an easy one. Tatu for the East. Number 9. Goes for Mike Stankovic. David Bursic, 1 save this quarter. Lodeweges 3. Tatu. Shot just wide. Slovo may have gotten a piece. If he did, it wasn't by much. Borja off the side, and you can hear that collision as Borja was nailed by Mike Stankovic.
Tempers flail a little bit, but again, Slovo dodging another bullet. I think he got a piece of that last shot.
This is Gerry great for Stankovic, and he missed. He just shot it wide as Slovo came off the line and tried to cut the angle. Tatu, great opportunity for the East. Here may be another. Tatu is decked. Just a foul they're going to call. Just a foul. Remember, if you get 6 fouls, it's a penalty. If a foul is flagrant enough, you can get a 2-minute call.
And that's a big, hard tackle on Tatu. The players on the East squad looking for the 2-minute penalty. They didn't get it, but they are getting shots on goal. And in the MISL, it averages out. If you take 6 shots, you're going to score a goal. It hasn't happened yet.
Ward with a shot, and it looked like Tony Bellinger got a piece of it as it goes out of play, and we have an official's timeout on the field. So a lot of action, but not a lot of scoring here at Chicago Stadium. For a moment, it's an evening of college basketball beginning tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The live action begins with a southeastern battle between Auburn and Georgia. That is going to be followed up with our second game featuring Louisville against Florida State. Louisville currently ranked number 16 in the latest poll. That's tomorrow, coming up on ESPN. Right here, we've got indoor soccer in the MISL 7th Annual All-Star Game, and a chance, Shep, for the East.
Well, Mike Stankovic on the run, and there is slots over the left foot. He puts that ball low, and that's the proper way to beat a goalkeeper. Shoot high to the near post, shoot low to the far post. Mike Stankovic just missing it, as we get a good look at part of the crowd holding up a "We Love Tatu."
West leads 1-0. There's your time remaining in the quarter, 6 minutes. The longest the East has gone scoreless in an All-Star game is 9:31 of the second quarter. We're 32 seconds away from that. Doc Lawson, your former teammate, scored from another ex-teammate, Fred Gerger. We look at Kenny Cooper, 4th consecutive year leading the East All-Stars. Great coach, but in the All-Star games, he hasn't been all that lucky. However, he has won the only game that the East has won, and he did it in 1984, an 8-6 win.
Well, it's so frustrating because if you look down on the field, there's not that much difference in talent between the East and the West. It's a jinx, it's luck, call it whatever you will, but there's no way Kenny Cooper believes that's an accurate record.
Peter Ward shoots that one upstairs, has a few fans ducking, and the West will get the ball with a goal kick. I see a familiar name here on the All-Star history list, Shep, and I see you in a couple of categories there that maybe are not all that great.
Well, I think there are 9 goalkeeping records in terms of All-Star games. I hold 6 of them, and all of them are negative. Most goals in a game, most goals in a half. It's a lot easier being up here. At any rate, I still would like to see the East crack one in and get back in the ball game.
Clavillo will give it to Steve Jungle. It's still a 1-0 West lead. It's got to be difficult for a goalkeeper to face this kind of an offense, Shep, especially when really defense is usually the last thing you think about in an All-Star game.
Well, it really is. It's easier for the offensive players to get on track. It's a defender's nightmare, really, to play in the All-Star game.
Clavillo, nice couple of moves. Batata, blocked. Bursic got a hand on it. Batata, nice back heel. Clavillo now will lose it. He wasn't expecting that feed from Batata, it looked like. Part of the communication problems in an All-Star Classic. Gerry Gray for Granitza. Now it's Peter Ward looking to make his move. Forced back by Batata. Now to Bruce Savage. 3 Chicago players, 2 Baltimore players out there, along with David Bursic of Pittsburgh. Savage making his own ball for Stankovic. Ward's going to be wide open. Granitza sees him, hits him. Ward right in the box. Stankovic is blocked by Fernando Clavillo. May have saved a goal there. So as we look at Mike Stankovic walking off, 4:43 to go here in the second quarter. The East coming closer, but it's still the West on top.
Hi, I'm Alan Mayer.
And I'm Karl-Heinz Granitza. We're opponents on the field, but we both agree that you will score big points as a member of the MISL fan club.
You get an MISL patch, a MISL magnet, and your favorite team's pennant and button. All this for just $5. What a great savings. Just like the ones I make, eh, Carl?
Except when I'm shooting.
To become a member, send $5 in the name of your favorite team to MISL Fan Club 425 North Michigan, Chicago 60611.
There's part of the crowd here at Chicago Stadium. We welcome you back to the 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic. I'm John Paul Dellacamera, along with Shep Messing, and it is a 1-0 West lead. I wouldn't have believed it, Shep, the way the first quarter started, that it would be this low scoring.
Well, they've slowed down, and again, they've been unable, both quads, to get a handle on their passing game. Instead, they've gone with individual dribbling. Eventually, you're going to lose the ball. The best way, again, to get into the gear of your attack is to pass that ball.
East out shooting the West this quarter, 8-3 and 15-11 in the game, but it's not helping on the scoreboard, which counts. Godfrey Ingram getting it back off the boards. Looking long for Granitza. Slow-mo's out of his box. Knocks it ahead. That's going over 3 lines, and if there were 4 lines, it would have gone over 4. 4:14 to go before halftime. Our lowest scoring game, All-Star history-wise, was in 1981 in the first half, a 2-2 tie in Madison Square Garden. The West eventually won that 8-5 as we look at Lodeweges, the man that revolutionized goalkeepers coming out and actually not just defending, but helping the offense.
Well, really, when you look at David Bursic in goal for the East, he's a pure goalkeeper in terms of style. Slobo revolutionizing the art of goalkeeping indoor, coming out, using his feet, making a big kick save.
Good reverse. Moreland to Lodeweges. Nice cut. The shot off the post and in. And it's tied at 1.
Dwight Lodeweges. This crowd erupts. Chicago being in the Eastern Division, the hometown crowd for the East today. But Dwight Lodeweges, Slobo was screened on the shot. Watch Dwight one-on-one, take Clavijo out, and now watch 2 players in front of Slobo Ilyevsky. And again, to beat a goalkeeper, shoot low to the far post, high to the near post. Here's Lodeweges. Gray right in front of Slobo. That ball like a rocket into the far corner, down low with velocity, and we have a 1-1 game.
Good individual move by Lodeweges, playing in his first All-Star game, and remember, it was Victor Moreland who fed him on the nice reverse from the opposite side of the field. So an 11-10 Lodeweges from Moreland. So the defender, Dwight Lodeweges, who leads the Minnesota Strikers, defenders that is, in scoring, gets his first All-Star point.
Well, so often that happens, JP. The attacking players, the Jungles, the Segodas, the Tatus, they're marked up very tightly. It leaves a lot of room for defenders to come from the back.
Lodeweges took advantage of that. Schiraldi is blocked by Tatu, and Tatu will get it back. Knocked away from behind. Dumbovic after it, and Moreland, the East battling after it, but Schiraldi had the better angle and wins it. Slobo throwing long. Bellinger going down. Tatu will get it. Let's see what that goal might do to the East. See if it picks them up. Dumbovic. Right side, Gerry Gray. In the corner for Wittman, who chested down. Timmy Wittman double team. Kept alive, though, by the East. And now knocked back to David Bursic. Jungle after him. Right side to Moreland. Crowd didn't like that. They played it back the other way. Sometimes that's the best way to attack, but the crowd wants him to go forward. Gray had a man open in the box. It was Dumbovic. Now Roberts off the boards. Bursic has to come out after it to Tim Wittman. Reverses for Neill Roberts. 2:40 to go before the half, and it's tied at 1 from Chicago Stadium. Tatu trying to get it in the box. Knocked away by Bellinger. Schiraldi kicks it. Bellinger heads it the other way.
And again, just a case of trying to do too much. Tatu trying to thread the eye of the needle on that pass. Maybe he would have been better off just trying to unload a shot. You can't do the impossible in an All-Star game. You have to try and keep it simple.
Chico Borja against Tim Wittman. The other way for Jungle. Wants it on the right foot. Nice defense by Neill Roberts. He still gets it free to Precky. A shot and a score by Borja in the far post. The West back on top.
And a great, great goal for the West. Steve Jungle attracting all kinds of attention and traffic at the top of the box. Watch Jungle start with the ball, draw one defender. He keeps the ball, and now he'll draw a second defender, Wittman. He slots the ball down into the corner. Precky to Borja. Goal. Great goal for the West. Jungle again making it all happen by drawing 2-on-1 coverage. And now Borja at the back post. Chico Borja just taps it in. David Bursic, no chance as the West connects on an opportunistic goal. Opportunistic in that as soon as Steve Jungle attracted 2 players, he made that goal happen.
And unlike hockey, you only give out 1 assist, Shep. If you give out 2, it's Jungle. So here's a guy who doesn't even get a point, yet he does all the work to set up Preki. The attention he got was what made Preki so wide open.
And again, Preki, realizing that Jungle was going to draw 2 players, held his position in the corner, waiting for that pass. A great goal by the West squad.
Now it is Savage that turn around off the boards. Loose ball! And Slobo took that one in the stomach. He made a thought about what he had for lunch earlier today with that kick. Stankovic stole it. It's 2-on-1. Borja and Rasmussen, teammates with the Wichita Wings. Rasmussen didn't get a good ball. Doesn't give Borja one. Segura, who can do it all, lays it back on. I'm surprised. The West had a 2-on-1, and they're still looking for a shot. Borja right up the middle, knocked away by Peter Ward. That goal really picked up the West. Rasmussen, who can turn as well as any player in this league. Looking at it straight on. Segura trying to lead it for Woolwich. Broken up by Granitza. Taken down. It's a foul. That'll be the foul called on the West. The East puts it back in play quickly. 3 fouls apiece. Bruce Savage. Less than a minute to go. First half of play. Chinapoo with a right foot. Broken up. Rasmussen getting it. Back the other way. Rasmussen hitting the deck. Play goes on. Peter Ward with a chance here. And he stumbled over the ball. And now it's taken back the other way. The West. 2-on-3. Now 3-on-3. Jungle on. Knocked away. Mike Stankovic just stepped right in front and took the ball away. Ward now stripped of the ball. Savage for Granitza. 30 seconds left before halftime. Stankovic. Jungle after him. A shot. Nice save off the right foot of Ilievsky.
Again, Stankovic taking that spot at the top of the box. Cracking the shot. Slobo with a kick save.
Bursic knocking it out for Savage. That last goal coming at 12:55. Borja from Preki. Ball played up the right side for Ingram. 10 seconds left before halftime. West leading 2-1. Godfrey shooting it, and Ilievsky will get that one. 5 seconds are left. Long ball upfield for Bick. Broken up by Lodeweges, and that's it for the first half of play, which started off strong, had a bit of a lull in there, but really picked up at the end. The West leading over the East 2-1. More soccer coverage from Chicago Stadium as the Major Indoor Soccer League 7th Annual All-Star Classic continues. The 7th Annual All-Star Game included a full weekend of activities in the Chicago area. Clinics were held at several locations, and the All-Stars participated directly with the youngsters, teaching and refining their soccer skills. The kids got a chance to meet their favorite MISL stars and to receive personal instruction from the very best indoor soccer players in the world.
Well, the amazing part, of course, having these indoor clinics that we're trying to set up with the MISL All-Stars, I think, as you can tell in our place guide over here, that the enthusiasm with these young kids is really outstanding, and they really get into it. And it's important to have people like Tino, Lettieri, an outstanding goalkeeper from the Minnesota Kicks, or Tatu, the outstanding goal scorer from Dallas, or Victor Moreland, or our own Karl-Heinz Granitza, to come out and mix with these kids, because I think they learn to identify with them, and they know that there's a future for them in a great sport of soccer.
Yeah, indoor is probably one of the best games for the American public today. It's fast, a lot of goals, a bit of physical contact, and even the crowd could get involved sometimes. The ball's coming into the stands, and you head them back out, and it gives a chance, like I said, to the kids to get to see one of their favorite players and get to feel what it's like to be taught by some of these players what the indoor game is all about.
The clinic was nice, and I enjoyed meeting the players, and it was a big help to me.
I learned how to pass, how to be goalie, how to kick, and stuff like that.
Well, I like this clinic, like working with the players, because the players help me and they help you realize what the game's about. And like my favorite player is like Karl-Heinz Granitza and Tatu from Dallas Sidekicks.
My name is Zachary Kustak, and I thought the clinic was great. And I was working with Karl-Heinz Granitza, and he taught me how to pass and kick the ball and header it and do the traps.
Monday, the All-Star Luncheon was held on the playing field here at Chicago Stadium.
The All-Stars were saluted by the Major Indoor Soccer League officials, sponsors, owners, friends, and the media. The player awards from last season were then presented to each winner. And the luncheon included greetings from League Commissioner Frank Dale. And a welcome to Chicago by Mayor Harold Washington. Before tonight's game, several preliminary games were played involving the Chicago Tribune High School All-Stars to benefit the Tribune charities. Our thanks for a great weekend go to the Chicago Sting, the hosts for this 7th annual Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic. We'll be back for the second half of the All-Star Classic later, but now let's pause for these words. Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic, the West leading the East 2-1 here at Chicago Stadium. And here's a look at why the West is leading.
Brian Quinn, one of my favorite players in the league for his unselfish play. Watch him dish this ball off to the laser, Branko Segota. He unwinds with a left foot. And again, the rule to be the goalkeeper, high to the near post like Branko did, or low to the far post. The next goal that got the East back into the game started out and ended up with Dwight Lodeweges taking on Fernando Clavijo, deking him and then cracking it with the left foot. Slobo Ilyevsky really screened by two Western defenders. No chance at all for that shot. And watch Steve Jungle, the lord of all indoors. He takes two players, gets it to Preki to Borja. Borja taps it in at the far post. No chance for David Bursic, and we have a 2-1 game, the West over the East.
The leading shooter for the East, Mike Stankovic, has 5 shots. As we look at the rest of the halftime stats, East out shooting the West 19-12. Give 8 saves for Slobo Ilyevsky and 5 to David Bursic. That's what they will finish up with, barring injury, because we've got new goalkeepers coming in. Let's talk about the different styles. Alan Mayer, the helmeted goalkeeper, and Tino Lettieri bringing out, it looks like, Shep, Ozzy 2, the parrot that has been banned from the regular season, but this is an all-star game. It doesn't count, right?
Here's a good look at Tino. Nobody ever said goalkeepers are normal, but Tino certainly is a wonderful goalkeeper. He's got that parrot back in the net. When you look at Tino Lettieri and Alan Mayer, they're both very similar, as we have the official now.
He's got to inject it. You know what happened? The crowd started to say something, and Tino put his first finger up to say, you know, don't say anything. I'll tell you what, that's a hot souvenir in Minnesota. That sells.
What a character. Bill Maxwell, the official, comes over. Tino Lettieri with a nice gesture to the crowd, tosses that parrot into the stands. And there's a very happy woman with a souvenir. Tino, an aggressive, quick goalkeeper. There's his good luck charm. Ozzy 2, the parrot. And there's a fan for life of the MISL and Tino Lettieri. But the game is underway. Both Alan Mayer in goal and Tino Lettieri, both aggressive, physical, gambling goalkeepers. Very difficult to come in cold in the second half, but it's an all-star game.
Alan Mayer wearing the helmet, the only goalkeeper in the MISL to do it. A couple of others have tried in the past, but Mayer has stuck with it for the last several years, whether he plays indoors or out. Had a lot of concussions growing up, several, too numerous to count, since he started to play the game, and he wisely donned that helmet for that reason. Ball is played all the way back to Alan Mayer. The West leading it 2-1. As Chico Borja, who has 1 goal, the go-ahead goal, plays it for Jungle. Turning on Savage, leaves it for Borja off the board. Saved by Lettieri. Back out for Sam Beck. Beck, by the way, replaced Beto, who was injured, and Beto replaced Gus McAllis, who was injured. That was quite a list. McAllis was voted to the All-Star game by his peers, and then was replaced by a teammate who was injured on the weekend. Foul, dangerous play, and that means basically what it says. When you have your foot up high, it causes a danger to another player, and that would normally be called. Bellinger, Stankovic guarding that side with Jungle after him. Steve Jungle has at least 1 goal in each of his prior 5 All-Star appearances, 3 last year in Richfield, Ohio, for the winning team. It was an 11-7 game. That was the highest scoring game of any of the All-Star games. But as Shep Messing had said before, they averaged 14 goals. Tatu, free for the moment, now in the corner. Looking for help. Wanted Stankovic, but it's broken up. And the West coming back with a 2-1 lead. Segota for Wilrich. Stankovic says no. Now Tino Lettieri leaves it off for Savage. Lettieri, the starting goalkeeper for Canada in the upcoming World Cup. That's quite an honor. Karl-Heinz Granitza captaining the East for Kazemaini. To Godfrey Ingram. Cuts in the middle. A shot is right on Alan Mayer. And look at how quickly he tries to aid in the transition game.
Well, Alan Mayer is such a great all-around athlete. He made the save, came right up firing, trying to pick up Jungle on the outlet pass.
Granitza from Ingram. Diving save Mayer. Rebound comes out, but there's nobody home for the East. And the West takes it again. Batata of the Los Angeles Lasers. 3 years in the league. 3 years representing the West in the All-Star Classic. And next year, Batata's team will be the host team as Los Angeles has been awarded next year's Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star Classic. Tacoma gets it the year after. Kazemaini against Giraldi. Outside, the shot off the boards is wide. Batata will pick it up for the West. Kazemaini knocks him off stride, but play moves on. Now it's Clavijo. Clavijo, another underrated player. Underrated, I guess, by everyone except the players because they voted him to this All-Star game. But you don't read as much as you might about Clavijo. And look, there's a great effort. His work rate shows there.
Well, his speed is such a great attribute. Fernando Clavijo doing the job for San Diego, doing the job here for the West. One of the fastest players in the MISL, and speed is so important in the indoor game. For those fans who have never seen a game before tonight, you're getting a look at the speed, aggressiveness, fast pace from goal to goal.
Batata, after that foul was called on Chinapoo, puts it in play on the restart. Rasmussen wanting to turn. Lodeweges holding on. Clavijo drills it wide. Picked up by Granitza. Dangerous pass across because Batata was right there. A lot of those good goal scorers like to hover around that box area. Waiting for an opportunity to arise. All right, the music starts in Chicago. The East trailing 2-1. They're the team that the crowd wants because Chicago represents these. Here's Dumovic. Shot too high. Wanted that rebound, but it came up too high.
And Granitza set up Dumovic with a great back heel pass.
Another chance. Chinapoo, what a save for Alan Mayer. He had to reach back as that ball looked like it may have gone by. Mayer showing you the kind of reflexes that he's got. Rasmussen looking. Nice play by Brian Quinn to dummy over the ball for Preki. The shot blocked. Lost its steam, and Lettieri will throw along for the home run. Granitza, good header to the outside. He knew Dumovic was breaking that way. Drago for Granitza, give and go, and Drago fanned on it, but Quinn, you got to give him credit to stop him. Jungle on the break. Preki cutting to the left. Cuts it across for Preki a bit too far in front. Sam Beck, open man. Quinn for Jungle. Unselfish play. Look at this. Beck after it. Bicycle kick by Tim Wittman. In his first All-Star game, Wittman, one of the younger players out there in the field at the age of 22. Preki on the intercept. Jungle may get a chance. Pumps it in. Steve Jungle has now scored in all 6 of his All-Star appearances in the West. Leads 3-1 in the difference. Shep, they're capitalizing on their chances. The East is not.
Well, that's tenacity. Vintage Steve Jungle. He had 2 great opportunities. He couldn't connect. Now he gets a through ball. Watch him poke it through the legs of Tino Lettieri. Tino, nothing he could do but come out, try and cut down the angle. Jungle with such fine touch on the ball, waited for Tino to commit, and then poked it in.
So the West leads by their biggest margin of the night. The West 3, the East 1 will be coming right back to Chicago. Stay with us. Jungle and Preki.
And again, Jungle with a left foot. He waits for Tino to commit. As the goalkeeper commits, he opens his leg, and Steve takes the shortest route to the goal, a direct line, tunneling Tino Lettieri. A great goal, no chance at all for Tino.
Gray had Ward there, but Bellinger made a nice defensive play. The West will get it back. Open space for Borja. 3-1, the West leading it. Nice cut to the outside. Taking the shot, it's too high. Look out, it's loose in the box. Roberts will chest it down. For Tatu. To Peter Ward of the Cleveland Force. He has a man open. Gerry Gray with his back to Mayer. Right back for Tatu, but it was broken up again. Tony Bellinger makes the defensive play. Segota on the run. He's got Rasmussen wide open on the left. But Lettieri is there as Segota was pressured from behind. Now Tatu has to wait and hold the ball because the East is changing up. On the right side for Ward. Marked by Segota. Stankovic open. Right foot. Fakes it. Now he's blocked. Tatu off the boards. It's loose. Cleared out by Giraldi. Again, the East comes up empty-handed. Rudved. Coast to coast of the run. Lettieri blocking it. He may start a run. Tino now thinks the wiser and goes the other way for Peter Ward.
And again, we have the East putting all kinds of pressure on. The West congesting it in the box, running on the counterattack and doing well.
Kazemaini may have a screen. Godfrey Ingram just missed it. Just a little wide. I think he was looking for someone at that far post. Kazemaini off the boards. Blocked by Mayer, but we've got a whistle and a foul on the West. Chico Borja.
Watch Godfrey Ingram. He's going to end up with a ball. He makes an overlapping run. Alan Mayer comes out to commit, and there's that ball slotted right in front of the goal. Nobody home to poke it in as Godfrey read that ball to the far post. Nobody home for the East to slot that ball in.
Kazemaini on the set piece for Tatu. Has a hard time controlling for Ingram, and he blasts it wide. But Tata wants his own ball, and let's see where speed gets him. But Stankovic had the better angle. Stankovic led the East, as we mentioned, with 5 shots in the opening half. Godfrey Ingram played last year with Las Vegas under Don Popovic, who is now his present coach in Pittsburgh. All kinds of holding going on along those boards. Foul against the West. That will be their second foul. The East also has 2, but on the scoreboard, the West leads by 2, 3-1. Tatu is dumped. That's at least the foul, and that's all that they're going to get.
I like it. Fernando Clavijo really cracking in with a tackle on Tatu. The East really subject to tenacious man-to-man marking.
Mike Stankovic for Godfrey Ingram. Wants the turn. He's dumped in the box. Play going on. Tatu. Right back. Stankovic. Left-footed drive is wide. Picked up by Kazemaini. The East trying to get closer. They're down by a couple. Stankovic now to his Baltimore Blast teammate Bruce Savage. For Tatu. Against Rundved. Nice cut, but Rundved doesn't buy the last fake. Tatu trying to win it is going to be called for the foul. A lot of young stars out there in the field, and the best way to talk about the youth being represented is to look at a guy like Bronco Segota of the West, who's 24, and Tatu, who has also just turned 24. They're the stars not only of the present, but also of the future of this league.
Well, that's for sure. Ron Newman and Roy Turner. We haven't mentioned Roy, but those guys doing a wonderful job with this West squad. We watch a little mix-up in the back.
Roy won it last year as coach of the West when Ron was his assistant. Steve Jungle back the other way. Should point out that whoever is named the most valuable player of this game will receive a Dodge Conquest. That's a nice prize as Karl-Heinz Granitza comes back. Tell you about the voting and how it goes in a moment. As Granitza gives it for Chinapoo. Long shot off Mayer. It's loose. Save Alan Mayer. He robs Karl-Heinz Granitza. But Tata the other way. Nobody picks up Jungle. He leaves it off now for Wilrich. Right-footed drive. A great save for Lettieri. Oh, now the goalkeepers are starting to steal the show. I was about to say before, the Professional Soccer Reporters Association will do the voting. 1 vote for each league city. In the last 3 years, Stamenkovic was the winner. Preki leading it, broken up by Lodeweges. Preki has a couple of assists on the night. He may ask for a new set of car keys before this one's over. Chinapoo, blocked by Preki. Broken up, but still loose. Dumovic after it, knocked away. Not quite over 3 lines, apparently. Victor Moreland appealing for that call. And now Victor will start back. Moreland played last year for the Chicago Sting. He also got a nice hand as he came out. Back for Lettieri. To Victor Moreland of the Dallas Sidekicks. Lodeweges for Karl-Heinz Granitza. Against him is Sammy Beck. Good ball right side, leading Moreland. Shot is blocked by Kevin Crowe. Granitza tries to reverse it. Puts it back too far to the outside. Preki almost took it. Gerry does. Nice move inside. Off the boards and wide. Quinn and Gray banged to the boards. The crowd wants a foul, but they don't get it. A giveaway. Dumovic by the penalty arc, trying to backheel it. A bit too fancy, and the West take it. Look at this dribbling. Preki. Open man, Rasmussen. Off the boards. Roberts will block it. Great play, though. Rasmussen had Preki.
End-to-end action as the East goes on a 3-on-2.
Gerry Gray. Ball is intercepted. Good read by Bellinger. He knew Granitza was behind him, and Gray basically telegraphed that pass as well. Now it is Preki. Slowing it down to Bellinger in the attack zone. Cuts a couple of times. Stripped of the ball by Kazemaini. Now Granitza. They try to leave Kazemaini, broken up. Lodeweges, who has the only goal for the East. The East trails 3-1. 4:28 to go in the third quarter. Neill Roberts. Broken up. Kazemaini for Granitza, but he can't turn. Mayer knocks it away. Kazemaini looking. His teammate Peter Ward was starting to break towards the far post. Now Kazemaini gives it up for Neill Roberts. For Peter Ward. Looking for Granitza. Kazemaini was open. Nobody saw him. Ward, the shot blocked straight out. Roberts, a drive, he scores! Neill Roberts.
And the Chicago connection. Karl-Heinz Granitza dishes that ball off the boards, and Neill Roberts cracks it in the upper corner. No chance at all for Mayer, and it gets the East back in the game. Watch Granitza dish it into the corner. This ball comes out to Neill Roberts, and first time with a left foot up in the corner, and this crowd in Chicago goes wild.
Most of the goals that I've seen Neill Roberts score, he gets with the right foot, but the left foot really was a solid one that time as he cranked it. No chance for Alan Mayer. The West still leads, but only by one, 3-2. Maybe the East will come back. To pick up the team and the crowd.
Well, it certainly is going to give the team a big lift. Here's this ball actually bouncing off Alan Mayer. Watch Neill Roberts, first time. First time is a key for a soccer player. He had no time to settle that ball, trap it. He hit it first time in the upper corner, and it's a great big goal to give the East a little bit of momentum. They deserve the goal. They've been carrying the flow of the play, been out shooting the West, but haven't put it on the scoreboard.
That's a bad foul right there, and that's the third foul. A fourth foul, I'm sorry, in the West. The East has 3. As we look at Tatu, he takes his share of hits, but he gets back up and shoves it right back at you by scoring.
And once again, JP, you mentioned the West connection. They're on the field now. The San Diego connection, Wilrich, Branco Segota, Clavijo.
Oh, but Lettieri was equal. Jungle. Great vision, those San Diego players, especially when they're out there with the 3 that they have now, Jungle, Wilrich, and Segota going forward. They can find each other, it seems like, anywhere on that field. Clavijo now to Wilrich. Now for Kim Rundvedt. Rundvedt is a perennial MISL All-Star. Wilrich intercepted. Stankovic. Now for Tatu. Mike Stankovic over midfield. Try to go back for Kazemaini, with Steve Jungle looking after that. Ball played up for Tatu, and he's dumped by Clavijo. Just been handed a note that this is the longest we've gone into an All-Star game without a penalty call, and I hesitated to read that, Shep, because I thought maybe that might have been a call there, but the officials are letting them go, but they are calling the fouls.
Well, the fouls are being called. Tatu is taking a battering by Fernando Clavijo.
Loose ball in the box. Mayer will get it before Godfrey Ingram. Crow now for Quinn. Blocked by the East. They're picking up in their pursuit and their work rate. Clavijo, though, finds Rasmussen. Segota running to goal. Branco backheels in. Look at this. Great save, Lettieri. Oh, that's unbelievable. That goes on a highlight film. It comes back the other way. A shot save again. Tino Lettieri will own this crowd. How? I got to ask you, you're the goalkeeper. How does he stop that? That's going in.
Well, it's a cardinal rule for a goalkeeper. Never give up. Branco Segota hit a back heel. Tino got a piece of it. And like all great goalkeepers, let's watch. Branco with a back heel. Tino doesn't quit on the ball. He doesn't quit. He goes back. That entire ball must be across the line. Tino never says die, and he just gets back and pushes that ball out of the goal. Great, great effort by a great goalkeeper.
And as we brag about that, the West just took their 6th foul, so the East will have a power play. When we come back, they trail by 1. The West leads 3.
But once you feel a piece of the ball, watch Branco Segota. He's going to back heel it. Tino felt that ball hit him. As soon as it hits him, he knows the only place he's in danger is behind his back, and he immediately turned and head for the goal line, and he made a great, agile save, pushing that ball off the line. The crowd absolutely erupting. It's got to give his team a lift.
That could be a turning point. Let's see as the power play is on now for the East on that 6th foul. Chinapoo off the boards. Granitza wide. It's cleared out by Crow into the stands. You know that save that Lettieri made? When you dive back into your goal, Shep, if you just lunged the wrong way, you could knock it in, but he did do a great job in clearing it out.
Well, Tino's a super athlete, and again, once he felt a piece of the ball, his instinct was to turn and go for goal because he knew he got a piece of it, he knew he slowed it down, and he never gave up.
Granitza for Gerry Gray. Going to the far post, punched out by Mayers. The ever-dangerous Tatu was right there. That's where that helmet can come in handy in a collision. As we look at Roy Turner, who was the coach of the West last year, he has led Wichita to the playoffs every year of their existence. Talk about longevity. He's been the only coach the Wings have ever known.
Well, that's Mr. Consistency. What a wonderful job with Wichita, especially this year. Key acquisitions, Chico Borja. Wichita really having a super season, and all the credit goes to Roy Turner.
Karl-Heinz Granitza on a corner kick where he could be very dangerous. Try to play it in the middle of the box, broken up. Chinapoo can't make a mistake with one bit right on him. Look at how aggressive the penalty killing unit is.
And this is difficult for the East. Going on the power play, these players have not played with each other. It takes really infinite communication and timing and practice. They're going to make do as well as they can.
Got another foul in the West. The West has part of their no-goal patrol, though, out there. Clavillo, Crow, and Quinn. As we look at Willie Roy on the opposite side, in his many years here in Chicago, indoors and out, only one time has his team not made the playoffs.
What a great coach. I mentioned that Willie Roy got booed on introduction out here. He's got a love-hate relationship with these fans of Chicago, as does their owner, the colorful Lee Stern.
On the left side, it's Granitza for Gerry Gray, part of the Chicago connection. Tatu hanging around the far post. Granitza shot. Ward after it. Mayer lost it. It's loose. It's still loose. They're waving it off. Marty Templin waved it off long before. Well, we'll see what the argument is, Shep.
We see the official right on top of it. Marty Templin in the back of Bill Maxwell waved that off immediately. Let's watch this ball. Deflected up in the air. Mayer goes up for it. Here's the contact. Here's the contact on Mayer. That ball still bobbling, still loose, finally poked in the goal, but that play had been waved off on the initial contact with Mayer.
I didn't see the signal. I thought initially maybe Ward got a handball on it, and then that collision, it could have been a dangerous play on Tatu, but I never saw a signal. But either way, there was a foul, and the officials never hesitated. If they don't hesitate, they make that judgment call. It's tough to fault, and Marty Templin was right in there.
There's no doubt. They were right on top of the play. There was contact with Alan Mayer. I believe Tatu got a kick in. Certainly when you see that ball end up in the goal, it's going to create confusion, but they were on top of the play. They called it immediately.
Savage to Tatu. Ward, great save, Alan Mayer. Oh, the goalkeepers are starting to shine. Tatu taken to the boards by Clavillo. Tatu wants a quick restart.
And I'll tell you, we saw Tino with that big, exciting save, but Alan Mayer has come up big 2 or 3 times.
Sure has. Ward in the box for Tatu. Block. Tatu! The turnaround shot was wide. Not by much. Well, we're starting to see the game pick up again. Brian Quinn with a nice move. He had Rudbit breaking. Chinapoo saved the breakaway attempt. Richard Chinapoo back the other way. Still on the power play. Tatu scores! There goes the shirt.
This is a great player, and this is a great scene. Look at the fans imitating Tatu. He's trading. He threw his shirt back at Tatu. What a great, great scene.
Tatu is tied in Shep. A big goal because only 33 seconds are left in the quarter.
Look at this action. The relationship between the fans and the players in the MISL, unheralded. Look at this fan. That's great stuff. Now watch the ball from Chinapoo. Gets Tatu down low. Tatu doesn't hesitate with a left foot, catches Alan Mayer going the wrong way. And a big, big goal, JP. As you mentioned, 30 seconds left in the quarter, and that ties up the game.
So it's 3-3. The East coming back. Ball knocked into the crowd. I think you're still going to go back to that big save Lettieri made, because at that point, Shep, it would have been a bigger lead for the West, and that may have put the East down a little too much.
I'll tell you, I love that guy in the stands throwing his shirt to Tatu. You think Tatu is going to hang that guy's shirt on his wall?
You remember the first game in Baltimore when somebody lit his jersey? That was a little different reaction here.
He's a wonderful, wonderful player and great for this league.
One of the rising stars of the major indoor soccer league, Tatu.
This is Mike Stankovic. 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Bick bangs it out. Batata has the whistle, the horn, and everything sound in Chicago. The crowd now becoming a factor at Chicago Stadium. At the end of the third quarter, as we watch Tatu do his shtick. It is a 3-3 tie. We'll be back for the concluding quarter when we return to Chicago Stadium. Shep messing at one point. The West was leading 3-1, but the East came right back strong.
Well, things are heating up as we watch this ball come out of the corner off Alamera. Now watch Neill Roberts taking a position at the top of the screen and cracking it with his left foot. Neill Roberts, the defender for the Chicago Sting, pulls the East back. Now watch Tatu, the East on a power play. Chinapoo with a good pass, a killer pass down into the slot. Tatu wastes no time at all slotting that ball by Alamera, and he goes into his famous act, throwing his shirt to the crowd.
Here's a look at a car that somebody is going to be very fortunate to win. The Dodge Conquest will go to the most valuable player of the game, and Stamenkovic can't drive this one home. He won the last 3 years, but an injury, unfortunately, has kept him out of this game. A lot of great candidates, and the Professional Soccer Reporters Association will have a chance to pick who they consider their most valuable player.
And you know, JP, the players recognize Dodge's contribution. They know a car is on the line for the MVP. They also know they have very little chance of winning that car if they're not playing on the winning team. As a result, these guys are out first to have their squad win the game, and then second, they'll think about the car.
Look at these stats, Shep. The East has outshot the West 31-17 on the saves. Give the East 8-14 for the West.
We saw a hot quarter by both goalkeepers. Tino making a miraculous save off the line that really excited, electrified this crowd. But don't underestimate what Alan Mayer did. Although he gave 2 goals in that the third quarter, he came up with 3 or 4 big saves that had goal written all over them.
Attendance here in Chicago, 12,456. This is one of the greatest buildings in the MISL in terms of atmosphere. Whether it's a Chicago Sting game or a Blackhawk hockey game, a Bulls basketball game, it's an old building. The acoustics are unbelievable. And when a player scores a goal in here and you put 12,000 people in here, there may as well be 50,000. That's how deafening the noise level is.
Well, we got to look at Ron Newman. He's not happy. His team really was controlling things defensively, although being outshot by a wide margin. They were really poised, under control, counterattacking. All of a sudden, bang, bang, it's a tie game.
And we're just about set for the fourth quarter. We'd also like to acknowledge Dairy Nutrition Council of the Chicago area. They sponsor the clinics that were held this week here, held by the players of the Major Indoor Soccer League. Great job by everyone connected with the All-Star Game. We congratulate Lee Stern, the owner of the Chicago Sting, and his entire staff for the great job that they did in hosting this event. Chicago has hosted this once before. It's a great city, and people are still revved up, Shep, over the Chicago Bears, but better than 12,000 are revved up about indoor soccer. This is one thing I've always liked, too. Players always applaud when the attendance is announced. You don't see that in any other sport. It's part of what you describe as the love relationship between player and fan.
Well, this is a sight you don't see in other professional sports, JP. This crowd absolutely applauding an outstanding effort on the field. In return, the players down on the field between the third and fourth quarter traditionally go to the middle of the field and salute the crowd. It's an entertainment package that you come and watch when you watch MISL soccer.
Fourth quarter, the one that's going to decide it. Victor Moreland for Kazemaini. Ali Kazemaini to Ingram, now for Granitza. Karl-Heinz trying to pass it off, but Segota is there. To Jungo, the captain of the West. Nice dribbling, the give and go. Lodeweges doesn't buy the fake. Victor Moreland for the Pittsburgh Spirit forward, Godfrey Ingram. Granitza leaves it for Ingram. Godfrey cuts to the middle. Fakes and then just lost the ball to Borja. The West coming back. It's end-to-end at the start of the fourth quarter. And it's a tied-up game at 3 as Lodeweges breaks it up.
And the West taking a very interesting posture. They're playing 4 men back, leaving Steve Jungle all alone at the far red line. Playing a 4-on-1, trying to get out that fast break to Jungle.
Now it is Batata the other way. This is the only All-Star game that has been tied after 3 quarters. The only other previous one was tied 4-4. And the only one that went into overtime. as Patata lays it off for Woolrich. The West won that one 6-5 in 1983 in Kansas City's Kemper Arena. We're still 13:40 away from overtime, and a lot can happen in the meantime. Tied at 3. Patata from the Los Angeles Lasers. The Lasers will host next year's All-Star Classic, which will be the league's 8th. The showcase of the major indoor soccer league's top players. Gene Woolrich, bothered by Kazemaini. Now Kevin Crowe for Patata. Lodeweges on him. Patata cutting back for Jungle. East badly out shooting the West, but on the scoreboard it's even at 3. Granitza blocks him and right back to Kevin Crowe.
So difficult to score a goal going 5 against 5, meaning that the West is really trying to draw the East out.
They look to spring Clavillo, but the East will get it. And now they'll settle it down and try to move it upfield. Victor Moreland telling Kazemaini to slow it down a little bit because the East is changing. Dumovic and Granitza are out there as a tandem. Dumovic just coming on, Granitza staying on. Kazemaini in the corner, double team. Still fighting for it, but Eric Rasmussen spins on him and wins the ball. Tied up at 3. 12.5 to play in the 4th quarter in regulation time. If it's tied at the end of regulation, they'll go into the MISL's version of sudden death overtime. Long ball by the West. Chinapoo taking it away from a similar number, 15, Eric Rasmussen, and Lettieri gives to Neill Roberts. For Dumovic. Roberts looking for Drago. Mayer comes out. Drago pokes it away. Looking the other way. Tatu doesn't bury it. He shot it too high. He had to rush that shot, though, Shep.
Great action. Alan Mayer committing himself, coming out, but he really did the job by taking Neill Roberts into such a deep position he couldn't capitalize.
Lettieri, nice cut to the right. He gives for Roberts. Good move, though, by Dumovic as he had Mayer out. Tatu stealing it. Tatu in the box. Tried to knock it to Timmy Wittman. And as he tried to pass, he was knocked down. Wittman now getting it back. Dumovic going to the outside. Back in, he toes it, but not enough on it. Tough to get your body, which was going to the left, to shift to the right, Shep, and get a good shot away.
Absolutely right. Dumovic running straight away from goal, trying to turn with his right foot, toe poke the ball in. Alan Mayer would have none of it.
Alan Mayer says, hey, guys, this didn't happen in the first half. Lettieri will smother that ball in the box. Rolls it left for Timmy Wittman. Wittman, one of 11 new players on the East All-Stars from last year. Dumovic shooting it. It's blocked twice. Sammy Beck of the St. Louis Steamers. He's the Steamers captain. Pushing it back. Boy, the East is really picking up, getting almost like a second win after the last couple of goals. They've got the momentum. Now it is number 5, Tony Bellinger for Brian Quinn. Looking, can't thread the needle. Chinapoo is there. The East reversing it now for Tim Wittman. Good work rate all night by these All-Stars. Roberts off the boards for Tim Wittman. Right back the other way it goes for Tino Lettieri. Chicago fans can relate to the headband. That's what Jim McMahon of the Bears wore and made famous. Look at Lettieri, how far out he comes. Intercepted. Giraldi has some open net, gives it to Jungle. Steve Jungle right back, Segota will score. So Lettieri makes his first mistake of the night and it cost him.
Whoa! You watch Steve Jungle and Branko Segota lurking at the red line. Tino Lettieri undecided. He gave a bad ball. Now he's racing back to get into the goal. Steve Jungle dishes it off to Branko. Branko slots that ball home, all created by the confusion. Watch Tino trying to get back in goal, backpedaling. The ball over to Branko Segota. Segota cracks number 2 for the game, and that puts the West back on top.
If you're a goalkeeper and you vacated your net and it's empty, the last guy you want to see, and correct me if I'm wrong, is number 7.
Well, the mistake happened in the midfield for a goalkeeper. As soon as Tino crossed that red line, what he was trying to do was send the ball long into the corner. Once he crosses that red line, he's free to dish the ball all the way down the field. Instead, he made a pass that was intercepted in the midfield, and look at smiling Branko Segota. He'll take a gift like that anytime at all.
And in his bid to try and help his team offensively, that time it cost him. But Tino Lettieri has had a great night, I think, so far in the second half for the East. And in fact, if the East wins it, he's one of those people that could drive off in a new car.
The beauty about indoor soccer for a goalkeeper, as for every other player, you can make a mistake, Tino's still got 10 minutes and 7 seconds left in this quarter to atone for it. He's certainly done a whale of a job in the third quarter and kept his team in the game.
Peter Ward from Karl-Heinz Granitza. For Mike Stankovic. Looking for Granitza. Laville blocks that. West now leading 4-3 despite being badly outshot. Peter Ward. Clipped from behind. No foul. 3-on-2. I heard a whistle, but it must have come from the stands. Brian Quinn cuts it. Rudman the shot. Off Preki. I thought it into the crowd, right? Because it's a goal kick, so it never touched Lettieri. It went off of Preki instead. 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Still to play in the fourth quarter. The West back on top by 1.
This shot cracking. Mayer out. Mayer back, recovers, but he touched the ball first off the post, then had the agility to get back on his feet and make the second save. This game definitely heating up with under 10 minutes to go.
No fouls in this quarter. Spoke too soon, right? There's a handball, and that is a foul. That's a violation, so it is 1 foul on the West, but the West leads 4-3 as we look at Sam Bick and Karl-Heinz Granitza. Sammy representing the Western Division All-Star team. Named to replace Beto, as we mentioned earlier, who had replaced Gus McAllis of the Los Angeles Lasers. Granitza now for Mike Stankovic. Now it's Gerry Gray. For Stankovic, West still leading 4-3, knocked back. Gray holding it. Bruce Savage of the Baltimore Blast. Looking for Granitza, it's blocked. The West trying to run it back with Sam Bick. Ward and he collide, and that's going to cost a foul on Peter Ward.
And it takes a big tackle to knock down Sam Bick. Sam Bick, a big, strong fella. Peter Ward cracked into him along the board. Sammy says, I'm okay, to referee Bill Maxwell.
5'11", 180, and he is solid. He gives it back to Alan Mayer quickly to Sammy Bick with Godfrey Ingram right there trying to cause some havoc. Alan Mayer will send it over 3 lines, so the East will take over possession. You know, Shep was talking before about Kenny Cooper and taking off that sport jacket. Not only is the jacket off, the tie is loose, and he's into it.
Kenny's into the game. He's got his sleeves rolled up, his tie undone.
On the right side, Stankovic for Granitza. Broke it up. Stankovic getting it, but it was a bit too far in front of him when he made the block. Quickly, they think offensively, the West does. Preki has to slow it down as he received that pass from behind. Borja, right back, chested by Kevin Crow. Now for Borja. Chico using his strength to win the ball, but the East comes back. Speaking of strength, here's a strong player. Stankovic. Ingram is going to be open on the left. Godfrey slowing it down for Granitza in the box. Pass the other way, and unselfish play, maybe too unselfish in the part of Granitza to Gray. Cost an opportunity, at least for the East.
Well, the East have one of their few fast breaks as we see Ingram on attack again.
Right side, Gray looking. And right back to Alan Mayer. Normally, Granitza would pull the trigger in the box. I'm surprised he had given that one up.
He had it on the wrong foot, and he saw Gerry Gray in a better position. His pass, unfortunately, behind Gerry Gray.
Preki against Lodeweges. Nice cut. And again, 4-3 lead for the West. Wilrich stepping over the ball. Kazemaini takes it away. Ali Kazemaini for Karl-Heinz Granitza. Good lead ball. Godfrey Ingram has some open room. Godfrey, good pass left side. Kazemaini off the boards. Loose ball, and Alan Mayer got it. Stankovic was unable to crank it. He was at the end of his shift and goes to the bench for a breather. Steve Jungle needs no breather the other way. A shot, nice save off the left hand of Lettieri. Another one by Tino. A third shot. Segota is blocked again. Who says goalkeepers have it easy, Shep?
Oh, great saves at both ends. Alan Mayer came up big, and then Tino.
Kazemaini the other way. It's nice to see the goalkeepers coming up so big after the goal scorers really for the last several years have dominated. Nothing against the keepers. There have been some great keepers, but you usually think offense in games like this.
Well, the West playing a super game in terms of staying back. Every time they win their ball in the defensive third, they're off to the races on a counterattack.
Brian Quinn slowing it down. Right side for Tony Bellinger. 4-3, the West leading it. Well, watch that clock for it. 6:40 to go. Time starting to become a factor as we tick the seconds down. Kazemaini bumped by Segota. The second West foul. Branko Segota with a couple of goals already tonight. Third among all-time all-star performers. Tony Bellinger going for Jungle.
Blocked by Victor Moreland. Blocked again by Jungle, and that lands in the seats out of play, and we will have an official's timeout on the field. So the East has already come back once in this one. Can they come back again? It was a 3-3 tie, and now the West on a Segota goal leads by 1. We'll come back for the finish. MISL's 7th annual All-Star Classic, the West leading by 1, and look for some of these stars later on this week as we look at this week's schedule in the Major Indoor Soccer League. Friday, the Lasers at Baltimore, Minnesota at Pittsburgh, Tacoma with Steve Jungle at Cleveland, St. Louis at Kansas City, Chicago at Wichita, and then Saturday, the Lasers will be appearing in Dallas. Then on Sunday, Tacoma at Baltimore, San Diego at Pittsburgh. Chicago plays at Kansas City, and Cleveland on the road in Wichita. If you're living in a major indoor soccer league city, get out and see what's coming up in your city because you've got a great product to go out and watch. Here's a goalkeeper's work in action.
Well, the Kansas City Comets thankful to have Alan Mayer on their side. Alan Mayer trying to come up with a loose ball. He does a 360 and comes up with a ball, a super athlete. We'll get a look at Kansas City next weekend on ESPN.
Wittman now to Moreland, back for Lettieri. Going long. Alan Mayer coming out and kicks it up high. Will it hit the scoreboard? No. Roberts, 3 straight headers, make it 4. Who'll make it 5? That gets the crowd going. Tim Wittman battling hard along the boards. Batata in the help out. He may lose it there, and he does. Roberts trying to blast it, and it goes the other way instead. And here's the West, 2-on-1. What a chance for a 2-goal lead. Borja goes to the outside. Blocked by Victor Moreland. Back for Lettieri. Good defense. Back upfield, Neill Roberts. Chinapoo is wide open on the right, but nobody sees him. Whitman will blast it the other way. And play will move on with the West getting possession and 5:15 to go in the game.
JP, it's not out of the question having a goalkeeper as MVP of this game. We still have time left. Alan Mayer has done a super job for the West. Right now, his squad leading 4-3.
Batata. I think if the East could win, Lettieri would also be a candidate. The goalkeepers have been more active in the second half than they were in the first half. Rundved gives it for Gene Wilrich. Now for Sam Beck. 4:48 to go in regulation time here in the 4th quarter. It's a 4-3 lead for the West. Gene Wilrich around the boards. Rasmussen and Wittman go for it. Played back to Lettieri. That came real quick off those boards. Now the East changing up. Stankovic is on. So is Tatu. Ward intercepted. Steve Jungle 3-on-3. Knocked away from behind by Stankovic. Good recovery. Lettieri going long for Tatu. For Ward. A little space. Peter Ward, a shot off the far post. He didn't miss by much.
Mayer got a piece of that one. Chinapoo on the ball.
Chinapoo looking. Blocked by Mayer. It's loose. Savage went for it. Good tackle by Quinn to knock it away. Stankovic, and we've got a whistle. From the other way, Alan Mayer apparently was hurt. I didn't see that, Shep, did you?
I'll tell you what, Alan Mayer being the competitor that he is, if he didn't get kicked, it's an excellent time to go down on the ground and get a break. He certainly does look hurt. Here's Ward winding up, cracking with the left foot. Alan Mayer gets a piece of this ball, touches it wide. Perhaps he's playing with bruised ribs. Now we watch Chinapoo. He's going to come in and crack another one at the near post. Maybe that's the one that took Alan down. Watch Chinapoo come to the near post. He's going to unwind. Crack it. Mayer down again with a save. Alan Mayer has been playing all season long with assorted injuries. A cracked rib, a shoulder. He's down there holding his midsection, and I know Alan Mayer has been playing all season long with bruised ribs. Looks like he got a shot there again.
He's one of the toughest keepers in the Major Indoor Soccer League. He's missed 6 games already this year, but a great, great competitor is Alan Mayer. And hopefully he'll be back to finish this game. The game still picking up in its excitement. 4-3, the West leading with less than 4 minutes to go. We'll be right back. 7 of the 8 West points have been scored by players on either Tacoma or San Diego. 4-3, the West is leading. Godfrey Ingram dinks to the outside. Leaves it for Stankovic. Mike with that powerful right foot. Brings it to his left. Back right. For Savage. In the corner, Gray off the boards. Mayer got a piece. It's loose, and he got the rest. Good recovery by Alan Mayer.
Alan Mayer, super athlete. That clock's winding down under 3 minutes. Now the West again on a counterattack, but we have to look at the East bench and see if Coach Willie Roy and Ken Cooper are going to pull their goalkeeper and go with the sixth attacker.
You anticipated my next question for you. That must come from working together so often.
Right now, Kenny Cooper and Willie Roy shouting, get the ball back, call a timeout, we're going to go with the sixth attacker.
The whole bench was pointing that way, and finally, everybody sees him. I saw 6 or 7 players, plus Kenny Cooper, who was in those rolled-up shirt sleeves and the unloosened tie, telling his players that, and I'm sure that we're going to see just that. We'll have to wait and see who that sixth attacker might be. Let us remind you that even though this is the All-Star break, we talked earlier about the standings. Baltimore in first, Cleveland not far behind, Minnesota, the game or so off there. Then you have Dallas, Pittsburgh, and Chicago. But of all those teams, Shep, Chicago has won 5 straight, 4 of them by 1 goal.
Well, every team in the Eastern Division has their eye on Chicago. Despite being in last place, they know the talent on the Chicago Sting. Chicago putting together 5 victories in a row. There's some people looking over their shoulders.
And in the West, San Diego on top. They're not having a lot of competition in the West, but the competition really heats up for the rest of the West, basically. And then you have Wichita, then St. Louis, Tacoma. Tacoma would have been a pick to go maybe as high as second, and they still might. But then Mike Dowler got injured, and that was a tough break. He's one of the better goalkeepers in the entire league as we look at Kenny Cooper the other way. So Tacoma still with a chance to go the other way. We see Gerry Gray donning the sixth attacker jersey, and you could maybe explain that to some of our new viewers how this works.
Well, we talked about the work ethic of Kenny Cooper. We saw him there in his shirt sleeves, his tie unloosened. Gerry Gray will now put on the goalkeeper's jersey. That means he's putting on gloves as well. He has goalkeeper privileges, although that's not what he's in the game for. It's a sixth attacker. In hockey, you pull your goaltender and go with 6 skaters. In soccer, you put a designated player in the goal, although Gerry Gray, in this case, his job is to go forward, be the point man on attack.
Why did Kenny Cooper pick Gerry Gray or Willie Roy? What do you look for?
The decision by the coach is to look for their playmaker, their quarterback. Gerry Gray being a midfield player for the Chicago Sting, an all-around good athlete. He's the best player in terms of dishing the ball off, being the quarterback on attack.
Let's see what he can do. That'll bring the house down if the East can score one here to tie it. Chinapoo for Tatu. Give and go. Nope. Stankovic to Chinapoo. Blocked. The net is open the other way as Chinapoo hustles back and wins the ball. Gerry Gray for Tatu. Knocked down by Clavio. Quinn there. Tatu knocks it away to the corner for Crow.
And the danger with this Western squad, under 2 minutes to go in the game, if they win the ball, they're most likely going to take that ball and put it down at the other end. So the East, it's do or die. You're going to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. They've got to go forward and capitalize.
Gerry Gray, 1:45 left in regulation. Tatu in the box. Lodeweges! Oh, it was headed wide by Granitza. Great opportunity. Now it's to go to the other way. Stopped by Lodeweges, and it goes into the West bench.
And that ball right in the goal mouth, down to the point in the slot. Granitza ended up getting a head on it. The West dodged a bullet.
Great opportunity that time for the East. Let's see what happens.
Well, there's the play coming into the box. Stankovic gets a piece of the ball. Over to Granitza. What's Granitza? An open goal. He just could not get behind the ball and head it towards goal.
Looked like on a replay that he may not have expected it to come across that way.
Well, it wasn't an intended pass. That ball ricocheted and shot loose, and there was Karl-Heinz with an open net in front of him. He just couldn't get over the ball and put it in.
Kevin Crow, but he's blocked by Stankovic. Now Savage is on. It's played back for Gerry Gray. The East has a job to do. 1:25 to score the tying goal. Listen to the crowd in Chicago. Lodeweges, who has 1 goal tonight. Gray for Granitza. Lodeweges. Karl-Heinz. Knocked away by Clavio. Sent the other way. Tatu will get there. Oh, it hops over him. Took a bad hop. Jungle. Toes it ahead. Look at the speed of Clavio. The net is open. He shot it wide. Jungle. The rebound. No chance there for anyone. Steve Jungle won't miss from there. He gets his 2nd goal of the game, and that should just about do it, even though there's still 54 seconds left.
Well, I'll tell you, JP, there is a lot of time left. Steve Jungle capitalizing on the speed and quickness of Fernando Clavijo. That ball was lost. Watch Clavijo outrun everybody. But now he doesn't put the ball in. Right off the Budweiser sign, and here comes Steve Jungle. There's no way Gerry Gray is stopping Steve Jungle as he buries that one in. Again, Clavio off the boards, and now Jungle into the box. Gerry Gray, not a goalkeeper, and Jungle cracks it into the back of the net.
But as we saw in the replay,
It's not a good ball that comes back off the boards. It just shows you the greatness again of a Steve Jungle. He has enough time to settle it and get off a good shot. Sort of separates the men from the boys. Steve Jungle, who has done it all in the Major Indoor Soccer League. Or as John Best referred to him when he signed him with Tacoma, he is the Wayne Gretzky of indoor soccer. Ball is played upfield now for Stankovic. Now for Karl-Heinz Granitza. Broken up. The West getting it back. They lead now 5-3. That last goal was Jungle's at 14:06, his second of the game from Clavillo. Ball is cleared back to Kevin Crow. 30 seconds are left in the game. Crow will send it over 3 lines in the air, so it will go back the other way. Shep Messing making his way down to the field. We hope to bring you at least an interview on the Chicago Stadium carpet once this game is over. West leading 5-3. We'll also tell you who's the most valuable player. A Chinapoo shot is blocked. Comes back out of the red line. Lodeweges with pressure. Tatu. Nice cut. He's open. In the box, Stankovic is robbed by Alan Mayer. I think Alan Mayer wants that Dodge Conquest. Quinn the other way. Blocked. Gerry Gray coming back. 7 seconds. In the box. Tatu has Mayer coming out. Shot blocked. Rebound. Granitza was blocked. Kim Rudvett saved it on the goal line. And that's it. The game ends just about the way it started, with all kinds of excitement. Kim Rudvett stopping the ball on the goal line for the West. And how big that would have been if it was only a 1-goal margin at the time, but it was not. It was the West who was leading 5-3 at the time, as we look at Alan Mayer getting congratulations from his teammates. He had a nice effort here tonight. And there's Branko Segota, who had 2 goals, including the game winner, and a guy that could very well have the keys to the Dodge Conquest.
He had 2 goals. Nobody else did.
We're going to wait.
We're
going to wait, and I guess we're going to come right back, and we'll go down on the field when we do to Shep Messing. So stay with us. Our All-Star Soccer coverage will resume from Chicago. The West has won 5-3. Shep and I return into this man, Branko Segota. It is the Budweiser Most Valuable Player Award, and he acknowledges the cheers from the crowd. Some say Segota should have won the Dodge Conquest last year. Others had said Steve Jungle. No discredit meant to the eventual winner, Stan Stamenkovic, but Branko Segota really had a great All-Star game last year. He is one of the rising stars of the MISL. Some say he is the heir apparent to Steve Jungle. Branko Segota with a couple of goals tonight, and he was definitely a key factor. And we'll take a look at one of those goals, and then we'll be talking with Branko momentarily as we watch Steve Jungle. This is the play where Lettieri got caught back. Segota buries it to the far post, beating Lettieri for the goal that ended up as the game winner. That was the 4th goal that the West was going to score. Gino Schiraldi giving him a congratulatory hug. When we come back, Shep Messing, my color commentator, will be chatting with the game's most valuable player, Branko Segota. Stay with us. Once again, the West is a winner. 5-3. The West was a winner 5-3, thanks largely to the exploits of Branko Segota. And here to interview him is his former teammate, Shep Messing. Shep?
Thank you, JP. Branko, a long way since the teenager I knew that came to New York a few years ago. Congratulations on the MVP. Give me your thoughts on the game.
Well, I thought, this is supposed to be a fun game, put on a show for the people. And I think the East, they took it a little bit serious and played kind of a defensive game. But we wanted to show the flair and score goals, and we weren't quite able to do it. But I'm sure that the people really liked the game.
There's no doubt about it. Branko, give me your thoughts on Steve Jungle leaving the team. I know a lot of people are concerned. You make such a great team with Steve. I predict you're going to be a star for many more years. How will it affect you, Steve Jungle no longer being your teammate?
I think, right now I just have to get over it because we've been together for so long. And it's kind of lonely with him out there because we do put a good 1-2 punch there. And I'm just going to have to get used to him not being there.
Congratulations to Branko Segota, MVP of the 7th All-Star Classic.
Let's take a look at the goal that was scored by Branko Segota earlier. Cracking it so hard that there's not much David Bursic can do. It dents the Budweiser sign, and that was the first goal of the game, scored at 7:04. Branko Segota, the 3rd leading scorer all-time in Major Indoor Soccer League All-Star history. The West is a winner. We'll have an interview with the winning coach, Ron Newman, when Shep Messing and I return to Chicago.